How you guys doing? Thank you for watching this video. Happy New Year to you all. Game day, Arsenal away, big one today. I haven't done one of these videos for a while. A preview video or post-match video. But I thought, considering it's a new year, I'm gonna start doing these videos again on a consistent basis, starting with this one. First, thank you for watching this video. Happy New Year to you. And yeah, welcome to my Arsenal versus Chelsea pre-match preview. I'm doing my 1-11 in this video as well. Big game, really big game. We're on a good run right now. Since that Crystal Palace defeat, we got like 10 wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat. 1 defeat and 13. That's 32 points up plus to 39. That's title winning form. Without a shadow of a doubt. Would usually be title winning form. And I think we're slightly unfortunate not to be, more in the title race. But big game, it's a chance to get back in the second, keep the gap at 14 points in Man City. Any kind of 5% chance that we got of catching them. And listen, Man City are going to be champions, but you never know. While there's that odd 5% chance, you've just got to keep going, take it game by game, win your games. You can't finish first, you finish second. It's a chance to overtake Man United, go in a second. It's a chance to hopefully bring a bit of breathing space between us and the top 4. And it's a chance to beat Arsenal, which we haven't done a lot since Antonio Conte's arrived. So, big game in its own right. Big game for Arsenal as well. They've got a few injury problems, especially at the back. Koscielny, I think, is going to be out. Well, there's a 30% chance of playing. So most likely Koscielny's out. Kolasinac is out as well. And I've heard some people saying, Arsenal away, point of, it's one of the big 6, point to be a decent result. I don't see it that way, to be honest with you, I really don't like. We're Chelsea and we shouldn't be looking at it that way for one. And two, right now, a couple of hours away from kick-off, give or take, but right now, if you say to me, a point, I'm disappointed. Obviously, it depends on how the game goes. If we're 3-0 down with 5 minutes to go and 3-3, I'd be happy with a point. But, especially Arsenal right now, I think, they've got no Koscielny, no Kolasinac, no Monreal, obviously. So, they could have a back 5 of the young English kid coming in. Chambers. You got Mustafi and Bellerin. You look at that back 5, and if we can't break down that back 5, I think we're kind of there for the taking today a little bit. Potentially, I think that they're a good team. There's some dangerous players, attacking players especially. I think Ozil's most probably going to be fit. Because they've got Lacazette up front now, and Giroud's injured. So they're a good team. It'll be a tough game, but I'm pretty confident we can beat them. On to us, we got rested Hazard against Stoke, smart decision, and bringing him in. I'd personally do a 5-3-2 formation and do a midfield trio, rather than 2 middle and then I've been flanked by two wingers. I don't necessarily think we should be parking the bus or sitting back. But I don't necessarily think 3-5-2 formation would indicate us sitting back. I think we have to attack them. But you have to be smart and look at the players. They got a disposal. They've got Norwich coming up as well. Then a big game against Arsenal. We've got 3 games in the next 3 weeks going against Arsenal. Start on this one. Arsenal are probably going to have Ozil back. They're going to have Xhaka. They're going to have Wilshere probably in the midfield. And if Ozil was playing, I think it makes Lacazette a lot more dangerous. Lacazette is a player I like a lot, and I think he's been unfortunate this year not to get more goals than he has. If he was playing in our team, playing for us, or playing for Manchester United even, I think he'd get a lot more goals. He's a incredible talent. He showed that on his debut. He hasn't quite got the credit he deserves yet. I think he's going to get better. I think he constantly makes the runs don't get seen. There's not a lot of creativity in that midfield. Take away Ozil. Who is inconsistent at times as well. He's not. I think Jack Wilshere's just come back, but Jack Wilshere's Jack Wilshere. I don't think he's all that for me. I think as much praise as I can give an opposition player, I do like him as a player. And I think he's going to be dangerous, especially if Ozil's on it today. And obviously, they got Sanchez as well. So, they're going to be tough, but we're a good team, and I'm confident we can beat them. That we've won. I said won a good run, 32 from 39, and obviously all Arsenal fans are like, well, been playing well at home this year, and if it was away from home, it would have been pretty difficult away from home if you're looking at it on record on paper. But home, one defeat from 10, they looked pretty good, and they played pretty well in the Man United game. To be fair, they threw it away, but again, I just think with the injuries that they've got, and we're on a good run, I'm pretty confident that we can go to Arsenal and win, and we should be looking at that. I'm not in the business of, we take a point here, it's a good result. We want to get back in a second. We want to break the space between the top four, and we want to keep the gap at 14 points between us and Man City, because Man City are probably going to be champions, let's be honest. But the next three, 14 points behind them, if we win today. Man City's next three away league games: Liverpool, Burnley, Arsenal. There is a scenario there where they could draw 3, drop 6 points, 8 points behind them. Plus, then I think we play them after that. So then it's 5 points. You never know. We just got to keep winning, keep going. So I'm going to get into it straight away. My 1 to 11. This is my 1 to 11. This isn't the 1 to 11 that I think Antonio Conte will put. This is my 1 to 11. In goal, Thibaut Courtois, speaks for itself. Back three of Azpilicueta, Dave, aka Dave. Cahill, and personally I'll pick Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger, I think he's looked pretty well recently. He's looked good, played well. Listen, I think Christensen has been played pretty great this year, but just recently, maybe the last couple of appearances, he's not as on it as he has been. I think I've been impressed with Rudiger since he's come into the team recently. So I'd start him. Wing backs, left wing back Marcos Alonso. Solid player. I think needs to work on his crossing a little bit, but solid player. I don't understand some of the criticism he's got this year. Totally unfair, my opinion. Right wing back, I'll go from Moses. I think it's a safer option. I think he's played pretty well recently. He's come back from injury, and Zappa scored when he come on against Stoke in the last game. But I think he played well, Moses, and in the last game he was unfortunate to come off, I think, and I'd start Moses at right wing back. So I go for a midfield trio personally. Kante, obviously, who hasn't quite been as good this year as last year. But again, very good player still. And but not being as good. I'll go for Kante, I'll go for Fabregas. I think he's much better in a midfield trio than a two. Midfield, I think, he's not... hasn't quite got to worry about the defensive side of it. Can be more creative. And he's got when you got Kante and Bakayoko behind you to kind of protect you as such. I think so. I put Fabregas in, and this is Danny Drinkwater has played really well recently. I've been really, really impressed. But listen, Bakayoko started the season really well. Especially on his debut, and this guy's a warrior. Too inconsistent to me, loses the ball far too often recently. But I think there's a good player in Bakayoko. I think we haven't seen the best of him. I think what we've seen at the start of the season is him as a player. His finishing there is woeful, I have to say. One of the worst finishes I've ever seen. I'd be more confident if Thibaut Courtois was taking the shot than Bakayoko. That concerns me a little bit as well, because he has missed a couple of chances. I mean, we got drummed away to Roma in the Champions League, but there was a chance just before half time that he could have, the corner that he could have scored. He missed his chance against Manchester United at home. I know we controlled that from start to finish, very comfortable, but that could have come back and bitten us. Come back to bite us. So it concerns me a little bit, the chances he wastes and how woefully he is at finishing. He needs to work on that, absolutely, especially moving forward. But Danny Drinkwater's played incredibly well. He's got a great goal against Stoke, and I think recently he's looked really good, and him and Kante obviously together, like the Leicester days, incredible. But I would probably just put Bakayoko in, just because as well as Danny Drinkwater has played, and he has played really well. I don't know if I quite trust him enough yet from the start, away from home against one of the big six teams in a big game like this. So obviously I'll see put him on the bench, but I'm probably been a little bit, because if I'm going to go on recent form, Danny Drinkwater should probably start for me, but Bakayoko hasn't been terrible. He just hasn't been great on a consistent level. So I'm going to give the edge to Bakayoko. So midfield trio of Kante, Fabregas, and Bakayoko, and I'll play Eden Hazard in the number 10 role. I think it suits him. It gives him kind of maneuvers to kind of go whenever he wants, and I think Fabregas will push up there as well, and interplay with him, and as I said, behind Fabregas he's got the protection then of Kante and Bakayoko. It makes such a difference, being I think Fabregas is such a miles better player in the midfield trio, than he is in the 3-4 the 3-5. I'm sorry. I think Fabregas is a much better player in a midfield trio than he is in a 3-4, 3-5 C formation. We're getting there eventually. I'm sorry. I think he's a much better player, a huge better player in a midfield trio than he is in a when it's just the two. And it's a 3-4-3 formation. I think he's a much better player in a 3-5-2 formation and a 3-4-3. I think this midfield trio, he the magical passes that he can do, incredible. He can just pass out of nowhere, goal out of nowhere. His vision's incredible. Him and Hazard the number 10, and I put Morata up front. Morata didn't have a good game against Stoke. It's one of those games. Morata's a thing. I'm probably saying I'm not totally convinced either on Morata yet, but I think he has contributed more than I expected in terms of goals. Like, he scored 10 goals, Premier League goals this year, with 17 games to go. If he hits 9 and 17, he's going to hit 19-20 goals. That's not bad for your first season. I remember a time where he hit 25 goals. You're going to win the Golden Boot. Not these days. They're putting you hitting 30 plus these days to try and win the Golden Boot. But I think he's contributed decently in terms of goals, like 10 goals. He's not too bad for this time of year. He's right there with Lukaku. He's like 3 behind Aguero, so I think his hold-up play has been better as the season's gone on. I think he went for a bit of a dip where he got tired, and he was clearly injured at one point recently. He's come back from that now. He looks good. Contributes with his goals. He's very good with his head, and I think he's good with his feet as well. I remember the hat-trick he scored against Stoke. Fantastic, away from home early in the season. Fantastic finishes there. Pace as well, kind of a little bit Fernando Torres like. I think I've said that in my previously. Kind of, he's kind of style of play, the way he wants to people with pace, his finishes with fit. He's kind of like the Fernando Torres stylish type of. Listen, he's his own player, but it kind of reminds me of Fernando Torres style a little bit sometimes. With his pace, the way he runs people, with the way he finishes with his feet, with the way he likes to cut back, and the turn on the inside, and the hit on the outside, he finished very Torres like. I think one of them was against Stoke in the season. So, and recently he hasn't. He didn't score against Stoke. Last game he didn't play particularly well, but I've even heard that we were flanked by Willian and Pedro, and then we put Hazard in like a false number 9. I think that would be I think Morata has to start this game. I think Morata will start this game. And I'm not completely sold on Morata, but I think at this stage of the season he's done pretty decently. Not terrific, but good. Pretty good. I would say actually, and I think hold-up play's been good. I think 10 goals is not so bad at this start of the season. He's still getting used to the physical aspect of the Premier League. A lot. I think he's learned a lot since his Premier League debut, but I think he's still getting used to the physicality of the Premier League. Certain things that you get free kicks for in Spain, you're just not going to get free kicks for here. It's as simple as that. The link-up play between Azpilicueta and Morata was being phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And as I said, he's one of the best. I think he's probably the best header in the Premier League. And he's not bad with his feet as well, as he's shown at times. His finish, I think he's better finishing with his head than he is his feet, but you know, you can say he finished with his feet as well. And I think we're going to find out a lot about Morata in the next few weeks. You know, we got this game today. We got obviously the 2 League Cup semi-finals. We got 2 trips away against the 2 Manchester clubs. And obviously we got Barcelona in the Champions League coming up. So I think they're the games, you know, where like, is he going to turn up? You can play for the big ones, you know. You're going to get judged on, and it's like, can you also go and score against the likes, you know, of Brighton and Huddersfield and etc. You got one as well. So. You know, because if you just score against the likes of Brighton and just come on second and Huddersfield, then, you know, and he doesn't do it in the big games, it's going to be like a Lukaku situation, you know, where it's like, oh, you know, we can do it, but can you do it in the big games? You know, we've got, you know, West Brom, Watford coming up, Brighton, Bournemouth, you know, I'm sure we're doing that, but can you do it in the big games as well? That's ultimately what he's going to be judged upon. You know, I think this is his first season with Chelsea. It's his first season in the Premier League. It's the first time in his career he's been a main striker. It's the first time in his career he's played so many minutes. Let's be honest. So all of that, you know, attributes he has to get used to. And so I think, I think he's doing pretty well. You know, and even when he hasn't scored at times this season, he has contributed on the ways he's hold up play. It's been incredible. You know, he makes those runs to create the space for other players, you know, like Hazard, for example. So yeah, I think he's contributed pretty well and had a pretty solid season. So that'll be my 1 to 11. Let's go for it one more time. Thibaut Courtois in goal, back 3 of Azpilicueta, Cahill and Rudiger. Wing backs of Moses on the right. Alonso on the left, the midfield trio of Kante, Fabregas, Bakayoko, and Hazard and Morata. I think Antonio Conte will probably put Christensen in, but I think it'll probably be a difference in actual starting 11. As I said at the time of recording this video, there's no team news, but hopefully, you know, we'll that'll be out soon. So yeah, that's my 1 to 11. My prediction. As I said, I know Arsenal fans are giving, you know, they've been really good at home this year. They've only lost once at home this year. They have been good at home this year. They're still on a run of 2 wins in the last 7 games, though. I think the defeat to Man United kind of took a bit of confidence out of them because they played so well and didn't get anything out of the game. They were pretty flat then against West Ham. They were unlucky against West Brom in terms with the penalty, but I think it was a flat game there as well. And you know, and they've got injuries at the back. And I don't accept that a point away from home to Arsenal is a good result, particularly beforehand. And we're on a good run, as I said. You know, 32 points and 39. Usually everyone will be like, well, great run we're on, but because of Manchester City's incredible run and beaten run so far this year, everyone's kind of talking about that. But usually everyone will be like, well, great run Chelsea's on 32 from 39 is pretty good. I'm not confident that we'll turn up. I don't think we're going to say, as I said, even if we do start with a 3-5-2 formation, I don't think that necessarily is sitting back rather than a 3-4-3. I don't think that's necessarily sitting back. Means we're going to sit back. I think we can't sit back, part the bus, and play a game of chess. The only way to kind of break Arsenal down, I think, is attack them. They've got vulnerability in defence when they're fully fit. They've definitely got vulnerability now with, you know, Koscielny out, Kolasinac out, and I'm looking at that. You know, Monreal, Chambers, you know, Manuel is out. Chambers, it's going to be in there. Hector Bellerin. You know, if we can't break Arsenal down on that defence, I think there's something wrong. So we need to something wrong. I'd be very disappointed if we don't score any goals in this game. I'm very, very disappointed. So yeah, we go all guns blazing on the attack, but we don't want to park the bus. We don't want to sit back. We don't want to be like tense and play, you know, and be afraid to lose the game and play a game of chess for 90 minutes. We need to at some point look to win the game, attack, expose the vulnerabilities they have in defence, and break them down. I think particularly our results against them recently, that's the way to do it. And I'm confident I'm confident actually today. You know, I wasn't confident before the Crystal Palace game. And that's the only kind of game that I've rightly predicted we will lose though. But I'm confident that we'll win. I think Arsenal will be comfortable, will score a goal, look pretty comfortable. I think Arsenal will nick a goal and, you know, maybe a bit of pressure on towards the last 10 minutes or so, but I think in the end we'll win pretty comfortably. My score prediction is Arsenal 1, Chelsea 2, and I'm going to go Hazard and Morata for the 2 goals, and maybe Lacazette. We'll grab one for them if he's still on the pitch. So that's my prediction. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 2. Hopefully that'll be the result, and that'll be the win. We'll get us back in a second. A really, really big game. I'm hopeful that we can win. Kicks off in an hour and 15 minutes time. Looking forward to the game. It's on NBCSN in the US and Sky Sports in the UK. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll win. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be back doing my post-match video. Hopefully a happy post-match video at some point. And I might do a thoughts on the season so far video as well. But yeah, happy New Year to you all. Thank you for watching this video. And come on, Chelsea.